Yeah?
Yes, Prabhuji, I will. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for joining in. Dandavat Pranam. Please accept our humble obeisances on behalf of everybody who have joined the group and are about to join. Prabhuji, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are on Canto 2, Chapter 7, which is scheduled incarnations. And the text for today is text 39, Prabhuji. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So, we'll recite the Sanskrit. Sarge tapoham rishyo navaye prachesa sthane ta dharma makha mano amar anavnisha ante tu adharma haramanyo ashasuratya maya vibhuttaya ima purushakti bhaja. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At the beginning of creation, the opinions, myself, Brahma, and the Prajapatis, the great sages who generate, and then during the maintenance of the creation, there are Lord Vishnu, the demigods with controlling powers, and the kings of different planets. But at the end, there is irreligion, and then Lord Shiva, and the taste full of anger, etc. All of them are different representative manifestations of the energy of the supreme power, the Lord. Mother, you can read the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The material world is created by the energy of the Lord, which is manifested in the beginning of the creation by the penance of Brahmaji, the first living being in the creation. And then there are 9 Prajapatis known as great sages. In the stage where the creation is maintained, there are devotional service to Lord Vishnu of actual religion, the different demigods, and the king of different planets who maintain the world. At last, when the creation is preparing to wind up, there is first the principle of irreligion, Then Lord Shiva, along with the eight, is full of anger. But all of them are but different manifestations of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahadev are different incarnations of the different modes of material nature. Vishnu is the Lord of the mode of goodness, Brahma is the Lord of mode of passion, and Shiva is the mode of ignorance, is the Lord of mode of ignorance. Ultimately, the material creation is but a temporary manifestation to give the chance of liberation to the conditioned souls who are entrapped in the material world. And one who develops the mode of goodness under the protection of the Lord, Vishnu, has the greatest chance of being liberated by following the Vaishnava's principles and thus being prompted to the kingdom of God, no more to return to this miserable material world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Robert. Narayan Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriyeta Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Seveya Bhagavate Yatam Shloke Bhakti Bhaktina Ishtaki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll read the verse for today. At the beginning of creation, there are opinions. Myself means Brahma, and the Prajapatis, the great sages who generate. Then, during the maintenance of the creation, there are Lord Vishnu, the demigods, with controlling powers, and the kings of different planets. But at the end, there is irreligion, and then Lord Shiva, and they're tasty, full of anger, etc. All of them are different representative manifestations of the energy of the supreme power, the Lord. Lord means Krishna. Now, as we have been reading Srimad Bhagavatam, and we have gone through many, many verses, still in the third canto, more will be explained regarding creation. First of all, we remember how Brahma was created. From the navel of Garbhodakshai Vishnu sprang a lotus flower, and on the lotus flower, the Lord gave him birth, whom we call Brahma. And he was looking in four directions for creation. That's why he has four heads. And this Brahma underwent penance. Why? Because he could not figure out where he came from. He went down the stem only to find water, Garbhodak water. And then again he came back to the lotus and he heard the two words, tapa. Tapa means tapasya. So he underwent tapasya for 1,000 years, celestial years, very long. And because of penance, the Lord was very pleased and gave him the intelligence, the power, and the energy to create. So Brahma started creating different kinds of beings. And the 9 Prajapatis that helped him, we can read the Prajapatis. There's a quotation given in the Bhagavad Gita. If you go to 10.6, I can read for you. Krishna tells Arjuna, thus the 7 great sages, and before them the 4 other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. So the origin of creation is Krishna. Everything is coming from Krishna. And even Brahma is a Prajapati. Even Vishnu is a Prajapati. So these are the Prajapatis who are responsible, along with the great sages. As we read further in the 4th canto, we find that how Daksha was told to populate the world. And he created 10,000 sons first who became devotees. They did not come back home. Another 1,000 even, they didn't come back. So he decided not to create sons but daughters. And these daughters are married to different sages. So all the population you see in the world come from them. So this is how the great sages helped Brahma to populate the creation. Now, in the beginning of the creation, there was strong Krishna consciousness. Here Srila Prabhupada uses devotional service, factual religion. Factual means real religion is Krishna consciousness. If you see any other worship, there is some tinge of materialism. And there are others which are fully materialist, just like karma kanda. The whole aim is to be materially advanced, enjoy sense gratification to an extent that even after that they want to go to the heavens. But in those days, in the beginning, there was Krishna consciousness. And this Krishna consciousness went on, and that is called factual religion. Real religion is three things. Who are you? What is your relation? How are you? I mean, who you are. Understand your relationship. Act in that relationship that we are related to Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. And the third section is that we have to engage in the devotional service to attain the love of Krishna. It does not matter what limb you are practicing in devotional service. We all know 9 practices in devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pad, Sevanam, and so on. Beginning is hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet, worshipping the Lord, becoming his servant, becoming his friend, offering prayers, and in the end, surrendering. These 9 things, the goal should be to attain the love of Krishna. So in this way, this is called the factual religion or the real religion. And that is what Srila Prabhupada established by establishing the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, which teaches you real religion, not 50-50 or 20-30, no, 100%. The whole process is so perfect. And the process is so good that it can free you from the cycle of birth and death. In the 9th chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, those who do not have faith in this process of devotional service return to the path of birth and death. So what is the meaning? The meaning is if you don't take up devotional service, any other process other than devotional service is also called kaitava dharma or a cheating dharma, because it cannot free you. Going to the planets of demigods and coming back, that cannot be called religion. It is on material platform, but real or factual religion is Krishna consciousness. Now, during this Krishna consciousness era, factual religion was practiced. The demigods assisted the Lord to maintain the world, and also Kshatriyas, the kings, in which they govern the different planets. Now here the comparison is given on Brahma, and now it's Vishnu. Creation was done by Brahma. He populated the world. Maintain is more difficult. Even in the material world, to create something maybe requires a lot of labor, a lot of work, a lot of intelligence. But to maintain that thing is very, very difficult. Anyone who owns a property, you know that to acquire a property, you need passion, just like Brahma, to acquire it. Once you have attained that property, then to maintain the property for years is not an easy thing. Time to time, you have to do so many things. I'm just giving you a mundane example. The same way, out of passion, the parents create a child. But to raise a child is not easy, because the child go here and there. To stop him from deviation, keep in path of Krishna consciousness is not easy. Any parent knows it. And then later on, to have them married and even them given Krishna consciousness so that their children become Vaishnavas. To do all this needs a lot of sacrifice. penance, also a lot of respect and tolerance. All these things are necessary for maintenance. So, after creation stayed for so many years, it lives for millions of years. When the annihilation is about to come, then who takes over? Lord Shiva and his followers. Here Sri Prabhupada says, most of the followers of Shiva are atheistic. They're not believers of God. And they take up, they are mostly, the mode prominent in them is mode of passion. And due to passion, they're generally very angry. And it's common. Most, even if you have friends who are worshippers of Lord Shiva, most of them, even I know, they're very temperamental people. They can lose their temper anytime, even for a small issue. They are very good people, but no control over passion. Why? Because Lord Shiva is controlling them. If you read third canto, 12th chapter, it speaks about Lord Shiva, the influence of Lord Shiva, how Lord Shiva can be experienced in a day-to-day life. He says, Lord Shiva can be seen in ferocious animals like lions, tigers, snakes. A lot of anger. Anger is there, can be seen even in the sky. Sometimes the sky becomes stormy. Water or the ocean becomes stormy. Then in our day-to-day life, we become very angry. And there's a temper, anger going on in our brain and in our mind. All this is an influence of Lord Shiva. Now all this influence becomes more heavier before the annihilation comes. So now, first we heard about Brahma creating, Lord Vishnu maintaining nicely, and make sure, if you note it, Lord Vishnu maintains in such a way that people remain Krishna conscious and they remain happy. Now, as soon as the annihilation is coming up, or the winding up of the creation is considered, then the irreligion takes place. Krishna consciousness is called a religion. There is a prominent influence of irreligion. For example, like Mayavadi influence is so strong in India that ultimately Mayavadi philosophy is nothing but irreligion. It's not religion. Because they really really speaking, they don't believe in anything. And though they are impersonalists, but even that impersonalist, in the end, is nothing but atheism. The whole philosophy is like that. So this goes on during the annihilation, or before the annihilation. So we should understand three personalities now: Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Three personalities are in charge of three modes, and all three are working on the behalf of Krishna. Here, Lord Krishna is above Vishnu, remember that. The position of Krishna is much, much higher than these three. And these are known as the Guna avatars. We have discussed many, many times 6 different kinds of avatars: Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, Satyavesh avatars, Manavantra avatars, and so on. So these are the avatars, of which a class of avatars is called Guna avatars. Guna means in charge of the 3 modes. The word Guna means rope. You all get bound by the ropes. Sometimes we are in the mode of passion. So Brahma's rope is strong. Sometimes we are in the mode of ignorance. Lord Shiva's rope is strong. Sometimes we are in goodness. It means the rope brought about by goodness of Vishnu is very strong. Of course, Vishnu is not regarded as is not regarded as a demigod, remember that. But in this level, on the Guna avatars, Lord Vishnu is also regarded as expansion coming from Krishna, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. Now in this way, different modes are changing, and the creation needs, why did the question may come, why did Lord create this creation? So if you go to the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, I think it's verse number 9, right in the beginning, I can read for you. I have the Bhagavad Gita here. No, it's number 10, 310. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada said, the material creation by the Lord of creatures, Vishnu, is a chance offered to the conditioned souls to come back home, back to Godhead. All living entities within the material creation are conditioned by material nature because of their forgetfulness of the relationship to Lord Vishnu or Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if I were to ask you a question, how can you come out of this conditioned life and return to Krishna? Anybody likes to answer? You can try.
So,
Hare Krishna.
So to come out of this conditioning, this material world, I think if we take up the path of devotional service, then we will be able to come out.
Yes. Unless one doesn't take the path of devotional service and try to surrender to Krishna fully, there's no way you can come out. You become more and more entangled. Because each karma you're doing, you're getting an entanglement. And if you want to become free, the only way out is take the path of Krishna consciousness, hearing, chanting, in the end, surrendering. And as you go closer to Krishna, Krishna also comes closer to you and delivers you. Krishna says this in the 12th chapter, a very beautiful verse. If you go to the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 12:6, he says, Yetu sarvani karmani mai sannyasa matpara anainaiva yogena mam dhyanta upashate. Then in the 7th verse, he says, Tesham aham samudharta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavani cha chirat partha mai aveshita chetasham. I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. And Krishna helps anyone. Anyone means everyone. Anyone who is ready to surrender to Krishna, Krishna helps. But we have to make an effort. So this creation was made or designed in such a way that in order to be liberated, you have to be engaged in a certain yajna. Krishna consciousness itself is a yajna. And I can ask another question, which is our yajna? What yajna do we do? We do daily. Which one is that? Sacrifice.
Sankirtan Yagna.
Yes.
Chanting.
Nama, Sankirtan, Yajna. Chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. Those who are accustomed to hear Prabhupada. In practically every lecture, Sri Prabhupada tells us, advises one thing. Always keep chanting Hare Krishna. Always. He doesn't tell you whether you're in a good mood, bad mood, passionate mood, ignorant mood, good mood. No. Just keep chanting. If one is habituated to chanting Hare Krishna, one will not become polluted by the materialism and one will be uplifted. How? Because the chanting will increase your remembrance of Krishna. And the more you hear about Krishna, then the remembrance becomes like a solidified fact, is established in your heart. And you can easily overcome the mode of passion and ignorance. So the yajna for Kali Yuga is Nam Sankirtan. The famous verse, I think most of you know them, Kritti Dhyayata Vishnu, the age of Sati Yuga. The yajna was meditation. The age that followed that, after that, Treta Yuga, was fire sacrifice. The age after that, which is the Dwapara Yuga, the yajna was worshipping Lord Vishnu with full paraphernalia. In the age of Kali Yuga, it says, chanting of the holy names. Kaledoshe Nitirajan, Ekashti Mahaguru, Kirtanya Devasha Krishna Mukta Sangha Parabrajat. So anyone who takes up a chanting process, it does not matter how good you are, it doesn't matter. But if you engage in chanting, definitely you will rise, provided you don't give up. You have to keep on chanting, whether you like or you don't like, just do it. So if you go on chanting, good chanting is like the mainstream of devotional service. Everything is dependent on chanting. And that is the yajna for Kali Yuga. So if here in the end, Prabhupada says, only those who develop the mode of goodness. Of course, the whole meaning is to rise to the mode of goodness. But the chanting is on the pure goodness. So it will keep you in the mode of goodness, in which you need the help of Vaishnavas. Without the help of devotees, you cannot come out of this cycle of birth and death. So in other words, you need help from three places. Krishna himself, the process, devotional service, third one is devotees. If you go on practicing, then there is a hope to be promoted to Krishna. And Krishna gives us a guarantee twice. Natad bhashate suryona sinsakana bhavaka yad gatva nan nivartante tat dhama paramamama. Which means that the abode of mind is not illumined by sun, moon, electricity, or fire. Whoever reaches there does not come back. Now, how to go there? In the 15th chapter, the detachment or the surrendering process is described in those verses starting from 6 up to 20. In the beginning, Krishna gives the example of a tree, that you cut this tree, so the detachment starts. And how to surrender piece by piece. I mean, step by step, not piece by step by step. And that is the meaning of the word Purushottam Yoga. You have to return to Krishna. And Krishna will help you. In English, they say God helps those who help themselves. How do we help ourselves? Is by engaging in devotional service. So in other words, if you want to go to Krishna, or if you want to be liberated from the cycle of birth, you have to take the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. And throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, beautiful verses are there, speaking about Krishna, Krishna's lotus feet, Krishna's all attractive features, all the 6, beauty, fame, strength, and so on. Everything about Krishna is attractive. As you go closer and closer to Krishna, he becomes more attractive. And this is why devotional service attracts Krishna. Why? Because Krishna consciousness is on the same platform, absolute platform, as Krishna. That is why he's able to attract Krishna. Everyone should read this book called Nectar of Devotion. And very first chapter, it gives some features of Shuddha Bhakti. Klesha, Agni, all your miseries will come to an end if you practice pure devotional service. Subhada, it creates auspiciousness in your life. Then Krishna Akarshani, it attracts Krishna. And it's the beginning of a happy life. And so on. All the good qualities are found if you practice pure devotional service. And what is pure devotional service? We should learn this verse. I mean, the listeners should learn this verse. The Sanskrit is Anya Vilashita Shanyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulyena Krishna no Sevanam Bhakti Uchyate. Recommended or the highest kind of bhakti is when your bhakti is freed from any materialism or mental speculation. And it is aimed to please Krishna. Such a devotional service is considered pure. And that is what we should aim. Just doing simple kind of practice, there's nothing wrong going to temple, taking darshan, chanting a few rounds and coming back, eating prasad. That is good. but much more than that is go a bit deeper, a little deeper. And as you practice, you'll find that you'll get help, but on your own, it's not easy. You need help from other devotees who are more advanced, and those especially who are fixed and steady in devotional service, day after day, year after year. You'll find many devotees in our ISKCON. They practice for years. Same thing. Waking up early, going to Mangalati, chanting their rounds, worshipping the deity, then eating Krishna Prasadam, hearing Bhagavatam daily and Bhagavad Gita daily. Offering something to Krishna in the form of flowers, cooked food and things. Krishna will be very pleased. It needs a kind of a disciplined life. If you lead this disciplined life, that discipline itself will purify you. Because the day you don't do it, you feel guilty. And that is what Sri Prabhupada says. If you want to be promoted to the highest planet, there is no higher planet than Vaikuntha. I'll give you a kind of a geography of this creation. In the stem of the lotus, where Lord Brahma is sitting, the lotus is coming out from the navel of Lord Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. The lowest 7 planets are called Patal. We also say it hellish planets or Naraka, because the life is not very good there. We are situated in the middle planetary system, the earth or the Bhumi or the Prithvi. And as you go upwards, there are 7 planetary systems where there's more happiness or more sense enjoyment than here. Here it's mixed. Here there's happiness and distress. But there is only happiness, and the happiness increases as you go upwards. The life becomes longer. And above Brahmaloka, which is also called Satyaloka, comes the river called Viraj river. That river nobody can pass unless one is surrendered to Krishna. Once you pass, it's also called a river of birth and death. As you pass that river, then comes the Brahmajyoti, or the effulgence of the body of Krishna, all Vaikuntha planets. And as you pass through the light comes the abode of Lord Shiva. And beyond the abode of Lord Shiva, known as Kailash, you come to the planet. The region is called Vaikuntha. And Vaikuntha is not only one place. There also is a variety. How much devotional service you did, you get a promotion to that planet. For example, if you are devoted to Lord Ramachandra, then there is Ayodhya, which is in Vaikuntha. If you are too attracted or were attracted to Lord Nrsimhadev, there is a planet of Lord Nrsimhadev. If you like Vaman, you go to Vaman. You like Vara, you go to Vara. But to go to the middle or the biggest planet is the Krishna Loka. And even Krishna Loka is divided in 3 divisions. There's Dwarka, there's Gokul, and then there is Vrindavan. So what is the difference? If you like opulent life, but with Krishna, then you go to Dwarka, where Krishna is the king. And if you like to stay a simple life on the level of parental love, then you go to the Gokul. And if you like Vrindavan, which is of the 3, this is the biggest. That's the planet where you find Radha and Krishna with the gopis. And all the inhabitants are serving Radha and Krishna. So the choice is yours. Where do you want to go? So what you practice is what you're going to get. So this is the information we should all have, not just information, but we should believe these words of the scriptures, that you go to where you wanted to go, or what you practice. In other words, what you paid for is what you're going to get. And the payment is devotional service. If your devotional service was very deep, then you can go right up to Radha Krishna. Besides that, you have to have a strong attachment for the lotus feet of Krishna. Then Radharani will help you to go there. Even when Radha and Krishna were on this planet, it was not very easy to see them. Their friends could see them, but the demigods, even demigods like Shiva, had a difficulty. Even Narada had a difficulty. Lakshmi ji had the most difficulty because Lakshmi ji was very proud that I am the wife. Why I can't see my husband? It was not easy for them, even when Krishna was on this planet. But these planets are there, so you can be promoted there as you practice. Hare Krishna. So end the class here. If you have any additions, please add. Or if you have any inquiry, please ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said the stem of the lotus. So are these the earth and the heavenly bodies and the patal, they are located in the stem of the lotus?
The stem itself. In the stem itself.
Okay. So above the stem will be the river, Viraj River.
After the stem finished, there will be a flower where Brahma is there.
Okay.
Once you cross the Brahma, Loka, then there is the river, Viraj. As you go beyond, if you manage to go or cross the river, then you go to what you call Kailash.
Shiva.
Sorry. After passing Viraj is Brahma Jyoti. After Brahma Jyoti is Shiva, Kailash. And after Kailash starts Vaikuntha.
And
there also is a variegatedness. There's such a big variety.
okay, Prabhuji, and where is Maya Devi's abode in this?
There's no abode of Maya Devi.
Okay.
Maya, she serves Krishna. If you go to Krishna planet, it's written in the third canto, you'll read it. That Maya Devi is just a goddess, a beautiful goddess. She's one of the energies of Krishna. She serves Krishna. But in this world, or in the material world, Maya Devi takes the form in the form of illusion, or the illusory energy. And to us, if you know her, we'll be scared. But when you are engaged in pure devotional service, that fear is not there. But she goes to meet Maya Devi. If you remember in the first canto, what was the word? I forget the Sanskrit. The English is when Vyasdev, when after Narada Muni left, when Vyasdev was a bit confused, not happy, having written so many scriptures. So Narada appeared and corrected him that you have not written anything about Krishna or devotional service. That is the defect. What you have given is just material facilities. So in other words, you've done more harm to the people. So Vyasdev could understand his mistake. So he wrote Krishna, especially wrote the Vedanta Sutta and the commentary Srimad Bhagavatam, which is only but nothing but Krishna. After writing everything about Krishna, when Narada left, Vyasdev sat down to meditate upon Krishna, and Krishna did appear. In that verse it says, when Vyasdev saw the Lord, the Maya Devi was hiding behind Krishna. She was very shy to come in front. So that is the position of Maya Devi. If you're not going to accept Krishna, you have to accept Maya Devi. But she's just like if I put my hand like this and this. The front hand is Krishna, the behind is Maya. If you can't capture this one, the Maya will take over. That is the meaning.
Prabhuji, I have seen one Golok Mandalam picture in which these planetary systems were arranged, and on top of the earth, it was Shakti. Shakti.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So that is just
Shakti
on top of the earth.
No. She's also responsible for the material world.
So
Shakti
all
means,
the Swargas and all the, so before the river, it is her.
Yes, it's
before
her
the river.
Yes, she's Durga.
Durga.
She's also working because Durga is responsible for the Prakriti, material nature, and she's also responsible for Maya. Same Durga. And Maya or Durga is one expansion of Radharani for the material world, not for the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, Durga is like a Dasi working for Krishna. Yeah?
Thank you, Prabhuji, for this clarification. Any other questions or comments from the group? If there are no questions or comments, maybe we can end the session. Hare Krishna Path Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandana. Sorry, I was joined late because some work is there. Prabhuji already described about the structure of the planet, universe, how it is, all are rest in the Krishna, on the form of the Krishna. So thank you, Prabhuji, for your wonderful time and giving the precious time to us and a wonderful lecture. Also, I thanks everyone who joined here. Please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra for a glorification of His grace. Rukma Prabhuji, please join. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vancha
Vaishnavebhyo Namaha.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Rukma Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks for the wonderful talk.